there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. So this morning I am preparing tomatoes stuffed with rice up to into the oven stage. We're serving them with pork chops, and I'm not doing full recipe, I'm doing it by half. So at any time if you see a recipe and you go, oh, I might like to try that, but I don't want to cook that much, just half all your ingredients and you'll be fine. So gather up the full amount or half amount and let's get ready to roll. So I've got all my ingredients gathered. I'm just put them on my stove top because I use it for another bench. And what I've done is 1 3/8 of a cup is 300 grams of rice. So because I'm only doing half, couldn't be bothered working out that cup sizes, so I just weighed my rice. So that is 150 grams. Pre-cook that. You want that to cool down so you're not dealing with a hot rice. But that should be done enough. Okay. So for this recipe you want a fairly hot oven. So put your oven onto 200 degrees, and with your tomatoes, what you're going to do is you're going to basically scoop them out. So just grab a chopping board. I'll just show you with one tomato. I just chop your lid off. Just go like that. A bit better than that. Okay, and then you just want to slice around it. Just be very careful with knives and fingers. And just grab yourself a spoon. You want to scoop all that flesh out. So probably just a dessert spoon. Now don't throw out what you take out because we need to keep that. I'm making this look really difficult and I apologise for that in advance. There's a lot of juice in this one. Probably don't need to keep the juice. Okay, so eventually it will look something like that. Okay, so you want to do that 6 times and I'll be back. My suggestion is just get a bowl or a jug. I just use this jug just to put in what you are keeping. That way you've got a clean work surface. So you're going to be left with 6 or 12 beautiful little tomato baskets. Easiest to put them straight on a tray as I've just done. And we are keeping the flesh but not the seeds, so there's not going to be much. But I guess that's the whole idea of it, that we're mainly just using the outside, not the whole inside. So discard of your pulpy tomato stuff. And then just chop up this. Look, if you get a few seeds in it, it's probably not the end of the world. There's not much in it otherwise. But as I said, most of your tomato-y stuff is going to come from the outside, not the inside anyway. So chop that up. Just making sure I don't have that icky end bit. Okay. Chop that up. Okay, so grab yourself a frying pan, give it a quick spray with cooking spray. And once again, I'm doing this by half, so I only need half as much ingredients. So I'll talk in both terms. So what we're going to do now is get 2 tablespoons of the oil and heat it. Sorry about this nice and hot. Okay, that's that one there. Got 2 tablespoons of the oil. 4 tablespoons if you're doing the proper amount. Okay, get that nice and hot, and then you're going to add the onion. So in the meantime, I've grabbed my bunch of parsley, chopped it up, but only half of it. Chopped up an onion as well. So while that's heating up, get your tomato shells and just sprinkle the insides with salt and pepper. The easiest way to do that is just one of the salt grinders. And some pepper. Okay, that should be ready for the onion. Get that onion on. This would be 2 onions. I'm using 1. Just in case you think I'm using the world's smallest onions, I'm not. Okay, beautiful. They're good to go. Right. So into the rice, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of currants. Currants are raisins. And the same amount of pine nuts. If you're doing as much as I'm doing, you're going to do it by half. So pine nuts, you just buy them in a bag like that. They're quite tasty. So we want 1 tablespoon of these. In with the rice. And same with the raisins. Don't quote me on whether raisins and currants are the same. If someone wants to Google it and let me know, you can. Generally, they are all from the same family. So these are the raisins. Sultanas are the lighter coloured ones. With these, I just keep these in the bottom of the fridge so they're not going to go all yucky. Okay, turn down the heat on the onion and add that tomato that we diced up. And add the chopped up parsley. Okay, so just a quick breakdown. We've got tomato shells in our frying pan. We've got onion, tomato pulp and parsley with the olive oil, and we have got cooked rice with pine nuts and raisins. Perfect. Okay. So once you have this ready, you're going to add it to the rice and then put it into these. Once they're on the dish, I'm just going to leave them on this dish until they're ready to cook. Then all you need to put on the top is 2 tablespoons of dried breadcrumbs. Cook them in the oven, which is 200 degrees, for 15 minutes, and then serve nice and hot with whatever you want to serve them with. You can serve them just as an entree on their own, or you might want to serve them with pork chops, which is what I'm doing tonight. Alright, I will check back in with you in a little while when I'm ready to stuff. Always read your recipe number 459 million. Sprinkle insides of tomatoes with sugar, salt and pepper. This is just because tomatoes can be quite blur otherwise. So, here we go. Look like little breakfast cereal bowls now. That was 2 teaspoons. If you're doing it how I'm doing it, it's only 1 teaspoon. So that's what our little shells should look like. There. And our tomato mixture. So with the tomato mixture, you just want all the juice to go, which it has. Turn that down and over to your rice. You want to just put that straight in with the rice. Beautiful. Okay, give that a really good mix. Mix it all out. Okay, this is the easy bit because all we're going to do now is make sure we don't touch that hot plate. That'll be a good wake-up call. Okay. Fill our tomatoes with our mixture. Try and put it in the tomatoes. Really stuff them full. This is why it's good to use firm ones, so that if you have to pick them up and your mixture's still hot, you're not going to have them sort of starting to cook while you're trying to do this. Okay, keep going. Beautiful. Alright, in we go. Fill them right to the top, don't be scared. Excellent. Okay, I'll just grab a spoon for the breadcrumbs and we'll be back. Okay, so I'm just going to use a teaspoon measurer. With this one, you really just got to make sure you've got plenty of dried breadcrumbs over the top. So, as a guideline, it should be 2 tablespoons. But as I say, if you use more, not the end of the world. Okay, there you have it. They're ready to go in the oven, and we'll be back later when they're finished. Alright, see you soon. Bye.